I feel scared. It's for real. This is for real stuff. It's raw.
And that's why people in psychosis say things that make perfect sense to them and their storyline in their head, but make no sense to anybody else. I thought my dad was secretly the president. I thought that I was the most wanted person in America, that everybody knew who I was, and everyone was staring at me when I went out in public.
Craziest things I did while in psychosis. Turned out super strong with number one. I masturbated in prayer. I believed I was married to God and I was God's wife.
Weed-induced psychosis and weed-induced schizophrenia is a real thing, and we don't talk about it enough. So I recently saw a TikTok from this girl who said she completely cut out smoking because she recognized that her body was no longer processing it the way that it used to, and one of her biggest symptoms was paranoia. So I immediately started thinking about this story that my hairstylist told me about how her baby daddy developed weed-induced schizophrenia. Like, I'm not joking. So of course I'm curious. So I was asking her, like, what symptoms did he show? Because when I think of schizophrenia, I think of people seeing things that aren't there or hearing things that they're not really hearing. But she told me that his symptoms were nothing like that. Really, the biggest thing was paranoia. And the way that it manifested was he really thought that, like, all of his friends and family, people closest to him, like, they were against him. They were talking behind his back, like nobody wanted to see him win. And like slowly but surely, every single relationship started falling off, and eventually it developed into full-blown schizophrenia. Something I think we don't really consider with people who are smoking, especially when it comes to our Black men, is that if you have an underlying mental health condition like PTSD, depression, bipolar disorder, anything like that, you are so much more likely to develop schizophrenia, psychosis from smoking weed. I'm not trying to tell anybody how to live their life, but I'm just saying, like, I think you guys should at least be aware of the symptoms and, like, be aware of how this can progress. But it's crazy.
So crazy to think of weed in that light, because weed is one of those things that's like everybody is doing it. So you wouldn't think it can possibly put you in like a psychosis or trigger some type of schizophrenia or something like that. But when you think about it, everyone is not made equally. Like, although we all want to equally enjoy the same things, like if somebody enjoys something, you're like, all right, I want to enjoy it too, but we're not made equally. And we usually don't find out how unequal we are until something crazy happens. I think I knew at an early age, like when I was in college and I had my days with Chief Keefin, listen, man, it would either be really good, like, I mean, I'm telling Eddie Murphy jokes, having everybody crying, laughing, or I am somewhere bugging out, curled up in a tub with the doors locked. It was either A or B, y'all. I always knew it wasn't for me. But I am somebody that has gotten diagnosed by a psychiatrist with anxiety, depression, and PTSD. Now, I think those things were triggered in the military. I can only imagine what kind of episodes I'd be having if I was still smoking. And the thing about it is, most people don't actually find out what they have. Like, I took myself to the psychiatrist. A lot of people don't even go to a psychiatrist. They just say, oh yeah, this is just how I am. And then you don't realize something is off until something really happens.
Yo, did you know if you hit that za a little too much, you could catch you a bad case of schizophrenia? So hear me out. Apparently, we got this shit in our brain called gray matter. And when you're chiefing on that za a little too hard, it can cause your brain to do weird ass shit. On the lower end of the spectrum, you have this shit called psychosis.
This man is telling us how you can get a psychosis by smoking weed, and he's high. Nigga, I know you're high. I can see it in your eyes. Those are high eyes. You're not slick, brother. He talking about, bro, did you know you can get a psychosis from smoking weed? Nigga, you high right now. Nigga, I can smell your sleeves. Nigga, sniff your sleeves. Nigga, sniff your sleeves.
I'm sure we've all been there. That's when you tweak out a little bit. Now, on the farther end of the spectrum, if you have some shit going on, some underlying shit like schizophrenia or any other mental illness, smoking on the za can make that shit way worse. Like, you can never know you had that shit, and then now you start smoking, your dumbass got that shit. Make sure to always know what you're hitting on, and you know yourself better than anyone else. So if you start tweaking off the pack, bruh, stop.
See, this is the thing. He said, make sure you always know what you're hitting on, like, as if you're laced or something. Your weed does not have to be laced in order for you to get triggered into a psychosis. It does not. I'm going to say that one more time for y'all. Your weed could be a good strand of weed, it can still trigger you into a psychosis. This is why a group of friends could smoke together, but only one friend has a bad trip to the point where it puts them in the mental hospital. Because like I said in the beginning of the video, we are not all made equally. Before we get into that, I came across a website that y'all can make some side hustle money, but the only thing is y'all have to play games on your phone. And I know everybody does not like to play games on your phone, but I figured it would be easy money. Even if you could make just $100 or $200 a month, I'm sure that could pay a bill or two. $100 is my phone bill. So all you gotta do is just click the link in the description below or click the link in the comments. And when you click my link, you start out with a free $5 and just try it out. See if it's for you. If it's not for you, it's not for you. But if you catch yourself making some money just playing games on your phone, that is crazy. These companies that own these game apps are literally paying people just to play games on your phone. That is crazy. So feel free to go check it out.
Psychosis can ruin lives, and this is what it did to mine. If you don't know, psychosis is a mental health condition where somebody loses contact with reality. It's characterized by delusions, which are firmly held beliefs that are not grounded in reality, hallucinations, which are seeing, hearing, or feeling things that aren't actually there, disorganized thinking or speech, which is talking in ways that don't make sense or jumping between unrelated topics. Also having changes in emotion and behavior and basically acting out of character. So my psychosis happened after my senior year of high school. I was only 18 years old. I was such a baby. I was a straight A student. I didn't do drugs. I didn't even drink at that time. And it really truly came out of nowhere. Later, I would learn that I have bipolar disorder type 1. This was 13 years ago, and I've blocked out certain parts. So I can't say like this happened and this and this. It's more like memories that I try to piece together. But when someone enters psychosis, you feel enlightened and you feel like you know all the secrets of the world where other people are sleeping and don't know anything. It's really common for people to believe they're the second coming, they're God, they're the most special person in the world. They have access to things that nobody else does. And you feel powerful and like you're special and you have all the answers.
That's like that one friend that turns into a philosopher every time y'all smoke together. They mess around and say something like, bro, you ever thought about it? As soon as you hear that, you just know something wild about to come after. Bro, time don't even exist. We just keep agreeing to look at the clock. You just sitting there like, man, pass the blunt, man. They be on another planet. But all right, back to the video. No more jokes, y'all. No more jokes. This is a serious matter.
It kind of stems from how great you perceive yourself to be. And that's when the paranoia starts happening, when you think the TVs are talking to you, like everything that people say, you have to decode. Everything is a riddle. And that's why people in psychosis say things that make perfect sense to them and their storyline in their head, but make no sense to anybody else. I thought my dad was secretly the president. I thought that I was the most wanted person in America, that everybody knew who I was, and everyone was staring at me when I went out in public. I was getting on Twitter every day doing my little nonsense. At one point, I thought my high school boyfriend was proposing to me. We had already broken up. And I was messaging people on Facebook, really cryptic things. It came to the point where my parents said, Laura, you know, you're going to college in 2 days. And I said, I am? And that's when they knew that they had to take me to the hospital. So instead of starting my freshman year of college at Clemson, I was in a hospital bed in the emergency room and then moved to a psychiatric facility for, I think, like 10 days. And I was still heavily in the episode when I was in that facility. When I finally came out of it, I was so embarrassed, you guys. Like, just the way that I had completely acted a fool in public. And now I can look back and see things for what they were and say like, okay, well, that was the illness. Like, that wasn't me. It was all out of character. But the embarrassment, it lingers. And there's still, when I see certain people on like, I don't know, Facebook now, I cringe and I just don't like to think about that time. I said at the beginning of this video that psychosis can destroy lives, and that's true. But I decided to rebuild mine, and I have an amazing life. I remember thinking at the time, who is going to love me? Like, everyone thinks I'm crazy. I ended up meeting my husband 3 years later, and we had no mutual friends. And he loved me, even after hearing everything that I had gone through and about my diagnosis. I feel like I'm in a unique situation to talk about my mental illness because I am a stay-at-home mom. I'm a content creator. Not everybody has the luxury to share this with the world. If you or someone you love has gone through psychosis, I am so sorry. It is truly one of the scariest things in the world, and I understand you so well. I just want you to know that things can get better.
The craziest things I did while in psychosis. Started off super strong with number 1. I masturbated in prayer. I believe I was married to God and I was God's wife. I believe I was a goddess. Something like.
Wait. She said she did what? She said she did what? Okay, this is a no judgment zone, a no judgment episode. But she said she did what?
The craziest things I did while in psychosis. Started off super strong with number 1. I masturbated in prayer. I believe I was married to God and I was God's wife. I believe I was a goddess, something like Oshun or one of those African goddesses.
Judgment
I
free.
believed that I was like nature and light and like just super beautiful. You get the vibe. And I masturbated in prayer. Number 2. I quit my job because I believed.
Of course, we're going to give her the grace to say that that's not something that she would naturally do. So we're not going to judge her for that. Let's just highlight how much a psychosis can put you in a different state of mind. On first glance, I did not understand that. Now, I mean, you're probably sitting there in oblivion as well as you listen to this. But this is also why you got to give people grace, because you never know what people are battling in their heads. Like, people are really seeing things and experiencing things in a different way than you're experiencing them. Somebody didn't get them checked as a child or some type of trauma they experienced. You never really know what somebody else is going through and what got them to do what you're seeing them do right now. So while you're sitting there saying, oh, they're crazy, what is wrong with you? In their heads, for whatever reason, is making them do said thing. And I think that is a perfect example of the average person not being able to understand what somebody is going through in a
My
psychosis.
manager thought that he was my master and I was his slave. My manager never said this, but my manager is white and I'm obviously black. So I just came to this conclusion. I was just in my head thinking about it one day at work in the middle of psychosis, and my thoughts went from one to another. And I just quit my job and I yelled at him. I made a big deal. I threw food all over the place. I threw food at customers. I did a bad job that day. Yeah. Number 3. I got back with my abusive ex-boyfriend. Now, this man used to fucking do jujitsu leg locks on me like a snake wrapped around their prey. One time we were in a taxi cab and I had to call the taxi cab away from him, and the cab pulled up and he was in the taxi cab waiting for me. And he fucking put me in a leg lock in the back of a taxi cab. And the taxi driver did fucking nothing. Just sat there and watched me in a fucking leg lock. Like a fucking snake.
Is that real?
Like a fucking prey on his. Come on, Kanye, say it correctly. Like snake with their prey. There we go. Number 4. I believed a rich white man was going to find me and marry me because I was so beautiful. I was going to be his chocolate milk dud. That never happened, obviously. But I would get dressed up, super cute, super fresh, take nice long showers, do my hair super nice, my nails done, go outside in hopes of finding that rich white man to take me away from my poverty life. Number 5. I gave away all my clothes, all my sneakers, all my furniture, my social security card, my ID, my laptop, my phone to Salvation Army. I packed up all my stuff in black plastic bags and put it out Salvation Army because I thought that a rich white man was going to come and marry me. I need all my belongings. I need like to pack the least amount of stuff possible because we're going to move into his house. He's going to buy me new things, so I just threw everything away. Number 6. I believe that my soulmate, which I had not met yet, I believe I can feel his presence. So you know when somebody passes away and like their presence is with you? I believe that my future soulmate presence was with me in my room and that he was watching me and observing me. So I would act as such. I don't want to get into detail what I was doing, but I was doing some freaky stuff in that room. Like, anyways, I just believe that he was watching me and that his presence was with me in the room. Super crazy, right? 7. Lastly, I believed I was a ballerina. I bought point shoes, dresses, skirts, t-shirts, the whole 9 yards. I even signed up for a fucking Nutcracker and auditioned. I believed I was a fucking ballerina, and in my past life, I believed that. Even though I never danced and did ballet a day in my motherfucking life. I've been here for 24 years and never fucking did ballet once. But in psychosis, I believe I was a full-blown ballerina. Those are the craziest things I did while in fucking psychosis. I love y'all.
That was very interesting. That was very interesting, very eye-opening, very well explained. So I looked up some of the symptoms of having a weed psychosis, and this is what ChatGPT gave me. Hearing or seeing things that aren't there. Extreme paranoia, they're out to get me. Disorganized thoughts, racing mind. Detachment from reality or self, derealization. I'm actually gonna make a whole video about derealization one day. But these are some of the symptoms. And if you're doing this, imagine if you're putting your brain through this every single day and your brain is just taking a hit. You're going further and further from who you actually are or who you originally were. While you think I'm just getting high, you're slowly disassociating from reality, even when you're sober.
I feel scared. It's for real. This is for real stuff. It's raw. Yeah, Jake will come to me, but I also believe that God will come to me. I also believe that God will come to me. I will talk to you when I'm ready to talk to you, because I have been through shit and you don't fucking tell me when I get to talk to you. But like, I also am scared. So when I see them, this is what I'll do one last fucking. You are great! And you will always be fucking great! Oh, bitch, we watched Muhammad Ali and I learned about that shit. I feel scared that they're gonna kill me, but we trust in God that this is going to be okay.
This is sad.
Things are shaking because we have to go. But there's a greater purpose. It's gonna be scary. It's gonna be scary, okay? My mom? Wow. Okay. I'm not lumping, but whatever. So, okay, it'll be okay.
This is so sad because as I watch this, all I can think of is people will really label this person as crazy, as nuts. It's like, I can only imagine how many people are in the prison because of a drug-induced psychosis, told them to do something. Nobody was able to explain that to them. This is why awareness is so important, bro.
I've been in psychosis for 6 months, and I'm telling you right now, it is not a joke. If you don't know what
psychosis is, extremely scary for the person who's going through it. The hallmark of a psychotic experience is that this person does not recognize what's real and what's fake. So oftentimes, one of the biggest presenting factors is paranoia. If you're around somebody who's experiencing psychosis, there's 3 things you gotta do. 1, explain to them and reassure them that they're safe. 2, do not argue with them about their paranoia. This is totally unhelpful and it will only inflame the situation. Number 3, call EMS, call the police, call 911. When people are psychotic or manic, this is an extremely unsafe scenario. The overwhelming majority of the time, they're not out to harm other people, but they're very confused, so they could either intentionally or unintentionally harm themselves. When dealing with this situation, your number 1 concern is safety always.
So why did I make this video? Did I make this video because I want to scare everybody that smokes weed? No, I just want you guys to be aware of the possibilities. It's not just getting high and good laughs and good jokes or the feeling of you don't care for a minute. No, there's other possibilities that could come from smoking weed. I actually know somebody that has recently went through this, which is why I know about it. So if you have a family member that smokes, please send them this video. If you have a friend that you care about, please send them this video, just for awareness purposes, because we need to know the good and the bad of every decision that we make. Everything is not just sunshines and rainbows. And this will give you an opportunity to ask yourself, is the good really worth the possibility of this bad? So anyways, y'all, it's been your boy Ty Boogie. Like I always say in my videos, if you want to make some side hustle money just playing some games on your phone, just click the link in the description below or in the comments below. Try it out for yourself. All you got to do is just sign up. It will show you a list of games. It'll also tell you how much money you can make playing each game. If it's for you, it's for you. If it's not for you, it's not for you, like I always say. So go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe button, and also hit that hype button and turn on my post notifications and all that good stuff, man. Until next time, y'all, it's been your boy Ty Boogie. I'm out of here, man. Peace.